Hello! Welcome back to our Greek goddess series. This month is Iris. And honestly, there's not a lot to go on. Unfortunately, she seems to be more of a background deity, at least in the surviving mythology, but she could have played a much bigger part, we just don't know. From what we do have, she mainly served as like a messenger to the gods, most especially to Hera. I just want to say before I start getting into the makeup, I've done the base. I have no blush on, which is why I look weird, but I've done base, and also Archie is in the room, so, you know, he might decide to join us. Who knows? Hello, young man. Do you want to help? You can't help, my darling. That's not helpful. I love that stupid dog. But what do we know Iris to be associated with most? Rainbows. So, of course, I'm going to have to put some rainbows all over me. All over me. So, get ready. Iris was born of a marine god and a cloud nymph. So obviously that is where the rainbow association comes from. I'm mapping down with a grease paint first, and then I'm going to go in and hopefully brighten up and set it with a shadow. This is just too hard. I'm not giving you any information, I'm sorry, I'm concentrating. So, her associations. Obviously, we know that she is associated with rainbows, but because of her messenger capabilities, she's also seen as a bridge between heaven and earth. She's very much associated with truthfulness and communication. He's sprawled across my makeup bag. One is like beautiful and one is just really messy. It is what it is. Obviously, because she's a messenger, similar to lovely Hermes, she is known for swiftness and movement as well. Orange. I'm also trying to do this in a way that you can see. Let's get the old travel mirror out so I can see. Though she was a messenger, she's also very much associated with oaths, and is even sometimes linked with the river Styx, which is the river in the underworld, which was sometimes used for divine oaths. And obviously, because she was a messenger, she was able to move freely around different realms, so that Olympus, the earth, the sea, the sky, and the underworld, obviously with the river Styx association. As I did mention at the top of the video, Iris doesn't have a lot of surviving mythology. I kind of just want to know why. Why do some deities get more recognition than others? Why do some get preserved better than others? She might have had a bigger role to play than we even know. It just feels like such a travesty, you know? And why do some gods and goddesses appear to be more actual characters and some are more just functions? These aren't showing up great on camera, but I promise they're actually quite vibrant on here, on my face. Now, rainbows appear across so many different religions because it is a natural thing, and of course people used religion as basically a way to explain things that they couldn't explain. And part of why I think organised religion is kind of silly in this day and age is because we have science and we have a lot of explanations for things. That's just my opinion, of course. If you're a religious person, you are free to do whatever you want. Crack on. But just don't take my rights away. Okay. I'm going to quickly go into a few places where rainbows show up. I'm going to start with some older religions and come back more to the present. And obviously, if there is anything I've got wrong, please let me know in the comments. I would love to be educated, because there's only so much you can find online. I look stupid. In Norse mythology, something that I actually do want to get into as much as I've got into Greek mythology recently, is the Bifrost. Probably seen it in any of the Thor movies. It is there, though I don't think it does it massive justice in the Marvel universe. It's got a few bits that you can go, oh, I know that because of that. So, Bifrost is the rainbow bridge between the gods' world and our world. So, Asgard, Midgard. Obviously I should be in Asgard. But that's by the by. I need to throw some blue in here somehow, and I don't want to have blue eyebrows. But similar to Greek mythology, in Norse mythology, the Rainbow Bridge is kind of similar to an oath, because once Ragnarok, which is essentially the end of the world, occurs, and giant monsters come to attack the gods, it will break the Rainbow Bridge, or so I'm told. Another religion slash mythology is the Maori tradition. So, apparently, the rainbow is a symbol of divine presence, spiritual communication, and a sign from ancestors. Ancestors are a huge part of the Maori traditions, which I think is lovely. We should always try to look at where we've come from. I'd love to be able to do like a family tree or something, but I have no idea where to start. But different kinds of rainbows show up differently within the mythos. So, apparently a bright and vibrant rainbow is a positive sign of health, fertility and renewal, which I think's really cool. It is always such a good thing to see a beautiful, defined, bright kind of rainbow. Where's my thing? I have like a quick brush cleaner and I don't know where I've put it. Now, a double rainbow obviously means that all of the bright, lovely things are amplified, but also it's like a heightened spiritual connection, which we all want. And it can mean that your ancestors are close, which I think is lovely. However, if the rainbow is faint, undefined, even fragmented, that can spell trouble. So according to the Maori, it is a warning of turbulent weather, misfortune, and transitions. Now, Australian Aboriginal traditions. But from what I know, rainbows are associated with creators and life givers, especially because of the rainbow serpent, which is part of their creation story. Rainbows also appear in Christianity. The rainbow in Christianity is kind of essentially a promise or an oath from God after the flood that wiped out a lot of places, a lot of people. The reason why Noah had his ark. And it was essentially God saying, sorry, I'm not going to do it again, I promise. Pinky swear. And in that vein, whenever a rainbow is in the sky in Christianity, it is essentially God going, hey, I'm keeping it up. Reminder of the oath. I don't know, I think it's funny. Guys have got to go, look, I didn't do it. Look, I promise I'm good. Look, Mom, look. God, I'm bitter. I know I've just spent all this time doing this, right? But I want to smudge the end. Why? Because I do. See? That was a brilliant idea. Well done, me. Cute. However, I do need to patch this up a little bit. Obviously, one of the most used representations for the rainbow is with the LGBTQIA, or LGBTQI, as I've been told I say brilliantly, and the whole pride thing. However you feel about the LGBTQI alphabet mafia taking on rainbows as a symbol, it is a way to make everyone within the community feel included. So there are obviously sub-flags that are to represent the sub-cultures or sub-genres of people within the community. And it gets to represent everyone. It's a symbol of hope, a symbol of connection, which is really all we want. Rainbows have been through so many different traditions, so many meanings, but the main crux of it is hope, connection. That's it. It's that simple. I don't think it's that hard to explain, but I'm doing a bad job. Look at that concentration. So what can we take away from this whole rainbow thing? We could frame it a bit differently. We could think about where we need to build bridges. For me, that's usually in disagreements. That happens in my family, people with very opposing views. It's not always very fun. Christmas this year was a bit intense. I'm not gonna lie to you. With the political landscapes that we have, people are very opposed to each other. Very different sides. It's hard. It is hard to talk to people and get through disagreements and just live and let live and all of that. It's difficult. Somewhere else that we can build bridges is within our communities. So there are lots of community projects out there, and I would love to be able to try and do some, either create my own community projects or participate in them, but unfortunately because of my conditions I am limited in what I can do. It just isn't always doable for me, and that's sad. But if you can, please go make connections, go build bridges with your community. Community is honestly the backbone of society. It is not billionaires and trillionaires. It's not alienation of other people. It's actually going out and talking to people. It's spending time with people, creating things for future generations. That is what it should be. Because the simplest way for you to build a bridge is to connect your intention with an action. I know it looks scary, but we're just gonna roll with it, everybody. I know. I'm also scared. Pretending this is a watercolour painting, okay? I'm worried. I'm literally holding my breath. This looks better in person than it does on camera. I promise you. How can I salvage this? Now, have I made a total mess of things? Yes. Well, yes, I have. But I'm gonna try and make it better. I'm gonna try to make it better by putting more on. That's a little better, actually. It's blended so well in real life. It looks like absolute dog on camera. What the Why? Just why? I have so much makeup on my face and it feels gross. This looks, I don't know, ethereal, and then like there's a juxtaposition here, but believe in it. It's what I've got now. Communicating authentically. That is something that we can learn from our beautiful Iris. Obviously with social media, not everything is how it seems. People always post just the best stuff and never the bad stuff, or rarely the bad stuff. I hope to try to post a range of things, but there will be times when I want to lean more positive because that's what helps me. But yes, social media, not everything you see is real. Not everybody is real. I try to keep things as real as I can. I do some like colour correction, but other than that, I try not to use filters as much as I can. And I think I've got used to my own face now that I can hopefully be a bit more authentic. That's more the visual side. Communicating and actually talking authentically, yes, I've done it a few times, but it's still really hard. But I do want to connect with people, I promise. I also think it's really important for you to verify information that you get online, or anywhere really, before you pass it on. I think the best thing you can do for humanity is to make sure that your information is as correct as you can. Obviously some things are sometimes hard to verify. It happens, unfortunately. So does getting things in your eyes. God damn it. Just try as hard as you can. Also, in Iris's imagery, she has some gold wings, and though I don't have wings, I can at least incorporate some gold. Oh, I kind of like it. I'm going to put some on my collarbones. But yes, especially in this day and age where things are easily AIable and people are grifters online, we want to make sure that we have the best information to pass on to other people. Ooh, look at that. I'm going to do a little shoulder action as well, just seeing as we're here. One last note to leave you with before we do the final reveal is transitions. Rainbows to me definitely symbolise transitions because it's that in-between state between the sun and the rain, and it's the amalgamation of the two brings this beauty. So think about your calm in the storm. Think about the grief and acceptance and every different life stage that you have been through and are going through, and give yourself some grace. Okay, I'm gonna see you in a few, okay? Bye! This is the final reveal. I thought I'd pair her with a red wig. I wanted to do this dress because it's got a little Grecian going on. It actually is an ombre. There is a darker blue at the bottom, which you can't see, but I look fantastic. And I thought red would be like a good juxtaposition. I think blonde would work with this really well as well. Make it more angelic, whereas this I feel like makes it look almost more wearable. Yes, you can see my wig cap. Just let's pretend that's not there. Also, I have a runny nose, right? Because of hay fever. I think it's being perfectly masked by the gold I put atop my lips, so all is good. But yes, the ombre rainbow blush was such a problem to do, but has turned out so beautiful. And the eyes, though they're being hidden by the hair, look amazing. Damn, I outdid myself. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed our little journey through rainbows and the goddess Iris. Unfortunately, she doesn't have a lot of preserved mythology, which is a really sad state of affairs, but I still love her anyway. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. Bye!